So the pace of technological change in Ukraine is staggering. People are having to solve problems today that we didn't even know existed a year ago. And on a modern battlefield like this, there's no time to wait. Lives literally depend on it. Now, one of the companies leading the charge in this rapid military innovation is Bluebird Tech. They're the makers of things like the Chuka drone detector, where Ukrainian soldiers can intercept and watch Russian drone feeds in real time. So today we're joined by Valery Zarubin, the co-founder of Bluebird Tech, and Igor Flip, who manages their American subsidiary, Zaruba Tech. We get into how they constantly incorporate feedback from soldiers into their products, like text messages from the soldiers to the company to make changes in their product line, some ideas on how to counter fiber optic drones, and quite a bit more. And speaking of the quality of the Bluebird products, we actually had a Ukrainian unit reach out just a couple days ago looking for help in purchasing these exact Chuka detectors for their team. So for those interested and able in contributing to that campaign, talk about good timing for the interview, that link will be in the description below. And with that, let's get to the conversation. All right, Valery, Igor, thank you guys so much for taking the time. This is a company and a product that we've heard a lot about, and I'm excited to get into this with you guys. And you got it sitting right there in front. So maybe, Valery, if you wouldn't mind starting out, Chuka, what is it? What does this thing do?
Thank you, Preston, for inviting us in this video, in your blog. Chuka is this one device. It's personal drone detection system. It's one of the famous drone detection system in Ukraine, I think. You can catch the video frequency from the drones and see what exactly the operator of drone see. And maybe you can see your vehicle or your position and change position.
Yeah, I want to add that it's really handed device, so you can actually it's hijack video signal from enemy drone. So we like catch video signal and see what's enemy pilots see on their goggles. So yeah, if you like see your vehicle, your range, you can see you in the video. That means the enemy pilot see, and you have time to change your position, time to hide. Sometimes enemy pilot don't see you, so that's your advantage in this case.
It sounds terrifying. Like, I would want that. I would want to be able to see what the enemy is seeing, but it also sounds like my heart rate would jump if I turn that on and I can see the back of my vehicle driving down the road. That's nerve-wracking. Are you able to, does the operator switch between different feeds? Because there's so many drones in the air. Are they able to look at different ones or bounce around?
Yeah, of course, you can catch all the drones around 4 kilometers from your Chuka and see exactly all the drones, all the videos from operators, and see the area, where is your location, where is your vehicle, and maybe you can understand where the drone exactly fly. Is it your drone or not your? Maybe it's some
your like friendly drone.
Yeah.
But your question is about so what type of drones we can catch. So right now in Ukraine is usual like I would say 3 main types of drones operated. It's video operated, analog video operated drones, digital video operated drone, and fiber optic drones. So we can easily, as we explained, can catch analog video signal, and you will see on this screen the video. If it's digital signal, we can see on this small screen, and we will see what frequencies this drone and operator use, what the power, and we can understand approximately range from our position to enemy pilot. For fiber optic drones, we should use other device. So also that's Bluebird has in their product line, but this cover like analog video signal, digital video signal, and drones. Yeah.
Well, hold on. Did you just mention that Bluebird has something that you can watch the feed of fiber optics? Did I understand that correctly?
We just work with it. It's not in stock, but yeah.
I want to add something to the being able to see an enemy drone feed. It's, of course, my mind immediately is, oh my God, it's looking at my vehicle or looking at my trench. But for a soldier in a forward position, they could have that and see what the Russians see. So they know we need to camouflage that door more, or they can't see this vehicle at all, or I left my rifle out or whatever it is, and it's giving away our position. So it gives real-time intelligence on what your position looks like to enemies trying to target you.
Right. Absolutely right. And we can also, yes, we can use our drones and we can see what's enemy pilots see. Right. Absolutely right.
So this is happening very fast. I feel like a year ago, the drone detectors that were really popular just beeped a lot, and they would tell you what type of general drone was nearby. Now guys are watching the drone feed. How do you go about hearing from the soldiers and from the units to make these changes, what they need in the Chuka 4.0 versus a 3.0?
Right. So I would say the main advantage of Bluebird is this is like R&D loop. It's so fast. So R&D just makes the product. This product sent to frontline, to soldiers, to troopers. They will give feedback to R&D. They make improvements and back to new iteration of the product. I would say that's advantage Bluebird, that advantage a lot of Ukrainian companies. We have chats like in the messengers with our soldiers, so we will get text from them. So could you change this button because it's not convenient to push this button in gloves? So yes, we can. So that's one example, but we got like hundreds of messages from real better testers and real users of the product.
Yep, that's hard to beat. So the guys actually using it in combat scenarios will sit down for a minute and text you what could be better, or if something's not working.
After some battle scenario, they always use their phones, and text and send us videos, a lot of videos about how the Chuka and another device help them. And of course, they call us. We spoke a lot about our products. Yeah.
We have service, so if we need fix something, so we can do it easily. It's fast. So we also understand how it should be done and how it's important for frontliners.
Something that I think is a little hard for us to grasp in the United States is we tend to have manufacturers in the defense space where it's very strict what they can and can't do. But it sounds like you guys have more flexibility to build exactly whatever the soldiers are saying. Is this, when you're building these products, is this going through the Ukrainian Ministry of Defense, or is it more like a private relationship with soldiers and with units that can purchase whatever they need?
We start with personal relationship with soldiers, with troopers, and then we codify our products. Yeah, and now we have huge relationship with government, of course.
The Ministry of Defense.
The Minister of Defense, because we need to provide more and more value
to products. So yes, and one of the process of the government procurement in Ukraine is that your product should be NATO codified. So we have like special department in the company that allow us to go also through this process of NATO codified. What it means? It means we have NATO 9 like code number that's compliant with NATO standards. So, for example, in the US, some unit needs this product. They just can go to this list, look it up, and order it. So that's the process of NATO codification for products. So we have in our line products that's NATO codified too. Chuka, one of them.
Okay. Wow. So I feel like this is going to be such a big opening for you guys and so many companies throughout Ukraine when this war comes to a close, and you can hopefully sell your products around the world. And I think NATO will be a big customer. So you're saying that some of the products already you are choosing to meet NATO standards. So a NATO country technically could buy and operate that right now.
Right, absolutely right. That's the main point. And the government of Ukraine also works around this question. So they understand that experience of Ukraine companies, R&Ds, engineers, troopers, soldiers can be useful for our partners. So on first stage, the US give us the hand. So right now we can back this hand to our partners.
Of course. Yeah, and we don't wait for end of the war. We want to build something strong right now for Ukraine, for US, of course.
To develop this bridge. Right.
Yeah. And that need is there. I mean, we're seeing that. I know you guys are busy. You have a lot of things going on. Today, there was a video of FPV drones hitting a base in Iraq. It was an old American base. I don't think it was current U.S. equipment, but we're seeing that. Of course, we're starting to see that in the Middle East. So this type of stuff is already important now, and there's going to be such a demand across NATO countries.
Right. Of course, the war is changed now. Now we see another war in Ukraine, and I think that all the world need to be prepared for new war. Yeah, and we Ukrainian know exactly what the new war
looks like.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So to that end, if we could do a little exercise.
Yeah.
I have this idea of you guys have so many different products on your page. You got the Chuka, the All-Star right here. I don't know, maybe it's not the All-Star. I feel like it gets a lot of attention, understandably so. But you do have a lot of different products, from drones and UAVs, UGVs, tons of different jammers, antennas, and so on. We'll, of course, have the website linked in the description if anybody wants to check that out. But if you were offering advice to a unit, say, heading to the Middle East right now, and they would be dealing likely with short-range drones, long-range drones, and fiber optics, what's kind of the baseline setup you think they should be looking at?
Mm-hmm. I would say for base, I would recommend some EV, some jamming device. For mobile groups that go to some mission, I would definitely recommend Chuka, personal drone detection system. I would also recommend Net Launcher. I think it's also very useful device that you can. It's the device of last resort, so you can use it to catch drone. What else I would recommend?
I think it's always depend of situation of operation, and if it's about the big drones like Gerbera or Shahed, it's of course it's interceptors. And about the ground operation, of course it's ground unmanned vehicles. Of course it's another stuff for retransmitters. A lot of solutions we have. We need to know what exactly the troopers need, what exactly.
So we can also, if you ask us, in this case, I would definitely be in touch with units and get this feedback, so we can improve something very fast. As you mentioned, that we don't have this
because our main value it's those with
experience, so we can share it.
Yeah, that's huge. Again, we are in this system from my perspective, and I think it's most of NATO, to be blunt, that it's very kind of top-down driven, very big platforms, and it takes a long time to develop and innovate. And it sounds like you guys have taken the complete opposite approach, where you're starting with the individuals. What is the problem? Solve that problem, and eventually you can work into larger orders for the government. So of course, starting at the soldier level. You mentioned the drone nets. Is that the term you used? Can you talk about those a little? That sounds a little bit. Do you guys know what Inspector Gadget? Drone catcher. Do you know what Inspector Gadget is?
So yeah, we have this product net launcher. So it's the last choice of last resort. And if like drone gets through jamming devices, AVs, so you don't have a lot of choice in this moment to catch this drone. So firstly, yeah, you have gun shoot, but in this case, you can use it in crowd environment. So net launch is more safer, and it's like 9 by 9 feet net. So 25 meters, it can catch drone in range 25 meters. And in this case, you also have some advantage. This drone is fully operated, so you can use it. So you can use
recycle.
Yeah, you can reprogram it and send to in case whenever you need to rush into Iran.
A lot of Ukrainian soldiers do something like this. Yeah,
because it's our source. As you know, Ukrainians fantastic in question of economy, money, resources. So that's why net launcher can be useful.
Take the enemy drone and send it back.
Right.
Absolutely. Yeah, and we can use the net launcher not only from the hand, we can use it from the drones. Another
I
drone
think I've
catch.
seen.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if it's been your product per se, but I think I've seen some videos of that where drones are launching nets.
Now we only for start, I think net launcher is something for future. We're right in the start. I mean, all Ukrainian company who use net launcher. A lot of interesting thing we see in next year, I think.
And I would want to add that net launcher very useful again fiber optic drones. So
of course,
because
and if we can complete with AI net launcher, we can put on the vehicles and armored vehicles and automatically catch the drones. Yeah.
This is such a headache. It feels like every day there's a new problem you're having to come up with solutions for. The fiber optics, I was hoping you guys could get into this briefly. It's very hard to see what a solution is other than shoot it down or have it hit a net before it hits a vehicle. Is there anything that you guys have been working on that you can talk about, or maybe some advances in certain areas to dealing with fiber optics?
Yeah, for first is detection. We need to detect where the fiber optic drones are flying. We work with it. Yeah, we try make the right solution. I think we built this in this year. Yeah.
So, to be honest, we can share what technology is, but the disadvantages of fiber optic drones is this is line. So the main point is to find this line and just cut it. But it's difficult to find. That's right now in our R&D.
Yeah, it's and I know there's a lot of people thinking about that and trying to come up with solutions. you guys are in an interesting spot where your country is at war while you are making products. You have a business that you are trying to make successful. So you want the business to be successful. You also want your country to be successful. How has this been with other organizations? Because you're not the only one selling electronic warfare equipment. Do you see collaboration between different units, or is that hard to do at times?
It's like a business field every time.
Mhm.
Of course, it's synergy because we have a war. We have Russians near our border. Yeah, but it's like a business field. It's always about solutions. Who first? Who built the hugest facility for manufacture? Mm,
I would also add that we should separate two questions. First, it's like companies. It's from entrepreneurs. Sometimes it's serial entrepreneurs. So they very fast, they try to find solution. They understand how works business processes to procurement. So they understand this is. Also, we should say that brigades, it's not like companies, but they have the same structure. They have accountants, they have like people who search market for some solution. They have all this like business part on their side too. So sometimes they collaborate between each other. Sometimes they collaborate between their different brigades, but sometimes they just compete for some solution, for some best people. We also should say that people, it's so important. People matters. So they try to hire best people from the market. Brigades try to hire people from the business side because it's also point of view. It's important. So I think it's also advantage of Ukraine in this war, because Russia, it's more like, vertical society. If they choose some solution, they just try to like scale it. It's some advantages, but in long term, it's definitely disadvantage for them. Ukraine more horizontal society, and we have more opportunity for collaboration.
I'm glad you brought that up. I had noticed, I was fortunate to make a trip over a few months ago and noticed that units that were very right next to each other sometimes were building different things. Like they were a little bit different in their process for how they were coming to a certain solution. It's just human nature because you want to win. Like I know they want to win over the Russians more than anything else, but you also kind of want to beat your buddy that's just down the street and show that you're a little smarter, a little faster, a little stronger. So it's interesting to see how that plays out in an environment like this. But I agree, the horizontal nature is so much more important in this aspect.
Right. I would say, in the US, you can see this is competing between schools. They have like their heroes. I think something like that. In Ukraine, we didn't have this competition between schools, but between brigades, we have it.
It's happening for real now.
This is pages. The brigade compete for new enlisted people. So they wanna this process of hiring people to be important for them. So yeah, that's how it works in Ukraine.
I like it. Well, we heard a little bit about the Chuka 4 that we'll be on the lookout for. Is there anything else that we should be watching for you guys in the next, say, 6 to 12 months that you're going to be excited to roll out there? Anything you can talk about?
Of course, it's always about AI, but we have a solution like very useful. Next, our drone, I think, is most. In next time, it will be one of the most popular drone in Ukraine is Bebra drone. It's something like Russian Molnia.
Yeah. Okay.
But with biggest range, with more capacity, more cheaper. we return something more
More useful.
more useful.
More
Yeah.
useful. And as Valery mentioned, so next generation, it should be something in a cross line between hardware and software. So the company right now hires some software developers. So we wanna some collaboration between
Analyze data, and
data,
yeah,
some
Sure. Yeah.
some mobile apps that can create more easy way to like iterate with our devices, to send data to commanders, centers. So that's the idea. And yeah, I agree. AI also important. Also important computer vision algorithms to recognize that is pictures, video. So yeah, so software definitely will improve our products in the future.
That's awesome. It's a lot, guys. And I just want to say, Valery, Igor, thank you so much for taking the time to talk today. And thank you for what you're doing and what your companies and what your employees are doing. We always see innovation during war and just kind of assume that it's happening. And but it's because of people like you and people like your teams that are putting in the hours and the brain power to come up with these solutions that we didn't even know were problems a year ago. And now you're coming up with ways to counter them. So thank you for what you're doing. I think my country will benefit from the work you're doing down the road. It's really, really impressive stuff, gentlemen.
Thank you, Preston.
thank you so much.
Thank you for having us. Yeah.
Of course,
And
yeah.
thank you for you also do for Ukraine. It's very useful. Thank you.
Absolutely.
A lot of followers. I see comments. So my appreciation, our appreciation.
Good
Absolutely.
people out there.
And all Ukrainians appreciation
Yeah.
too.
It's really important.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Thank you.
Right. So thank you so much to Valery and Igor for taking the time to walk through all that. It's a fine line. It's challenging, right? Like everything they do is sensitive. They can't afford. It's huge risk to put out information that Russia could leverage and find a weakness in their technology or a workaround in some product they have coming out in the near future. It's literally a matter of life or death. But people also need to know about what they're doing. And not just Ukrainian soldiers and the units at the front that, need to hear about this stuff so they know what is available for them to put into the fight day in and day out, but also for us, Americans, the United States, our military, our NATO allies around the world to see what is being developed in real time, at the tip of the spear in modern warfare. This is the type of stuff being put to the test day in and day out that is saving lives in Ukraine. And if we're paying attention, and I love that Valery and Igor are talking about making some of their products NATO compliant, that's huge. If we're paying attention, this is the type of stuff we're going to start incorporating into standard NATO militaries around the world. So again, Valery, Igor, thank you for what you're doing. Thank you for taking the time. For anyone interested, the Bluebird Tech website will be in the description below. You can check out their entire product line. And then, of course, the fundraiser that just, again, this was by chance. So this friend of ours in 3rd Assault Brigade reached out looking for some help buying these Chuka drone detectors. And as they were kind of getting that fundraiser up and going, we got in touch with Bluebird. Totally separate line of effort there, and we're able to line up this interview. So the timing was great, and if interested and able in contributing to that fundraiser to buy these very detectors we just talked about, that'll be in the description below as well. That's all we got for now. Thanks for watching, and I'll see y'all next time.